In this video, I'm going to show you the exact absolute best hiring strategy that I have found in order to scale my online coaching business so quickly and that of my clients as well. So by the end of the video, you're going to know exactly who to hire, when to hire, and how to hire in order to build a predictable and scalable online coaching business that doesn't create burnout and that you don't grow to hate. Because at the end of the day, all we want as a business owner is to build a business that helps us achieve our vision that we have in mind. But so many people go wrong and they build a business that isn't really a business. They're more of like a glorified freelancer doing absolutely everything in their business, wondering why they aren't making the money they want to make and wondering why they have to spend so much time working in the business on things that they actually don't like doing. So I'm going to help you kind of fix that and solve all of that today, right now in this video. And by the end of the video, make sure you stick around because there are a few caveats and like important variables to consider. Otherwise, it might not work very well, right? So it's important that you understand those things too. So that way it will actually work properly for you. My name's Jeremy. I help online coaches scale their business using ads and building a team. And if that's of any interest to you, check the main video on my channel where I break down exactly what I do and all of that. But let's get straight into it. As an entrepreneur, it's our responsibility to use our capital and our resources in the most efficient manner. And really the only two variables we had to play with are our time and our money. Poor people trade their time for money, but rich people trade their money for time, right? They're spending the money they're making, they're investing it in order to buy back their own time. And that's what this video is about. Because at the end of the day, you can always get more money back, but you can never get your time back. Time is a finite resource that once it's gone forever. Whereas like with money, there's so much money out there. It's actually really easy to get it once you have the right systems in place and you have a proven, predictable, consistent acquisition system and team and stuff like that. So if that is of any interest to you, either book a call down below or check the main video on my channel. But nonetheless, once you actually kind of understand that mindset shift and you are willing to invest the money that you're making back into the business so that way you can actually kind of remove yourself from the trenches one step at a time, then that's when you're going to make so much money and you can build a real business that operates without you. That will allow you to work on the business instead of in the business. And if you're anything like me, that's what we're after. So just like with money, when poor people spend their money poorly, they stay broke. Rich people, they spend their money wisely and invest it. And no surprise, they grow very wealthy. And it's no different with our time. So this means we need to safeguard our time and make sure that we are spending our time in the most efficient and effective ways possible. When you're thinking about like what tasks you should or shouldn't be doing in your business, run it by these three categories. So number one, you should only be doing things that you're really good at. There's no sense of doing things that you suck at when you can just hire somebody else to do those for you. Number two, you should be doing things that you love doing. Because if you don't like it and there's a lot of resistance, you're facing a lot of resistance towards actually doing the thing, then chances are you're probably not going to do it and you're probably not going to do it very well. And finally, number three, you should only be doing things that add a lot of immediate value to your business in a monetary sense. So things that you're good at, things that you love doing, things that add a lot of value and money and revenue to the business. And anything that doesn't fall under all three of those categories, get rid of it. Delegate it, automate it, systemize it in a certain way. And that's how you're going to buy your time back. That's how you're actually going to love working on your business because you're going to be doing the things you actually enjoy and the things you actually like doing and that you're good at, right? And then as you do it more often, you're going to get even better and better and better at it too. So there's a principle called the buyback principle. And essentially what this means is do not hire to grow your company, but instead hire to buy back your time. So when you focus on that and focusing, like when you focus on buying back your time, then this allows you to put your capital and your time in the best, most efficient ways possible. When you follow those three criteria, then that's when you're going to be able to do that. Whereas what most people do is they think, oh, I just need to hire more people for the sake of hiring more people. Whereas that's completely backwards because more people is just going to be more people to manage, but then you're still going to have to do a whole bunch of the stuff that you don't actually like doing. And then you're going to be running around like a headless chicken, not knowing what's going on and putting out fires all over the place. Whereas when you hire to buy back your time, then that means you can actually stop doing the things that you don't like, that you aren't good at, that don't provide a ton of value, kind of the lower value tasks. And then that allows you to kind of take a bit of a step back. You can either work less, you can spend more time doing what you like, and you can spend more time doing the things you're good at to actually grow the business. So one way that I've implemented this, like a 4-step process. First of all, I identify like, okay, where's the pain? You know, like the age old saying, like hire when it hurts, kind of the same thing. Where's the pain? So I kind of just audit like what I spend my time on. And I think like, okay, what do I not like doing? Where is there a lot of resistance here? And for example, like with me personally, it's like video editing. I don't like editing. I love recording content. I used to hate it, by the way. So if you don't like recording content, just do it and like it'll grow on you. But nonetheless, I used to absolutely hate editing content. I still do. So I hired two editors, one for YouTube, one for Instagram Reels. And that has allowed me to not have to worry about that. I used to have to spend so much time or make terrible videos that didn't really get the numbers I wanted to get. Whereas like once I hired an editor from Instagram, my engagement doubled, my views doubled, literally overnight. And then once I hired an editor for YouTube as well, like the number of new subscribers that month doubled compared to last month. Views tripled, right? So it's like, there's no surprise because I didn't like it. I wasn't good at it, and it didn't lead to direct sales. So it didn't check any of those 3 boxes. So I hired somebody to do that for me, and I outsourced it. I delegated it. So that way I can just focus on making really good content, like recording and planning it out. And then once I do that, I don't have to think about it. Then I can spend my time on sales calls, marketing, stuff like that actually grows the business. So that's kind of number 1. Where's the pain? Number 2 is like audit. Okay, you've got a lot of pain. Maybe you're working too much or you're doing things that you don't like doing. Then audit your time and figure out how much time am I spending towards this? And if it's a lot, or if like it's literally something you don't want to do, and just like stop doing it and delegate it right away. And then of course, number 3, transfer. So transfer that task to somebody else. And then 4, fill that time that you just saved with higher leverage and higher ROI activities. So identify the pain, audit where your time's going towards that pain, transfer it to somebody else. So that way you solve the pain, and then fill your time with something else that's a lot better and a lot more effective and a lot more valuable to your business. And when you do this, I can literally promise you, you're going to make so much money. Now, there are a few important caveats and things to consider. So let's cover that right now. One thing I see a lot of people do for some odd reason is they hire people and like bring on team members when they don't actually need to. I think it's literally just because like they don't want to be lonely or something like that. And they just want people to work with. That's why a lot of people have like business partners that they don't need. And then those like they break and whatnot over time. But nonetheless, make sure you're not hiring for the wrong reasons. Make sure you're actually only hiring for things you absolutely need right now. And that's going to save you major headaches and a ton of money over time. And then also like make sure your business is literally at the stage where you need to hire people. So I see a lot of people like hiring an appointment setter when they don't even have consistent traffic. And then their appointment setter has to send like cold prospecting messages to people that tell them to screw off all the time. They don't book any calls, or they book only like one a day, maybe 1 or 2. I don't know. Calls aren't qualified. They don't know who you are. And it's just like, there's so much friction there. So trying to avoid that. Literally like the number 1 problem I see pretty much every coach have is like, they just have a traffic problem. They don't have enough people that know about them and new people that know about them every single day. They don't have enough eyes on their content, right? So if you want to solve that problem, that's literally exactly what I do. Check the main video on my channel or booking a call down below, or do both and let's chat. I can help you solve it. But anyways, nonetheless, like that's important, because if you don't have the opportunity in the traffic at the top of your funnel, then like your middle and your bottom of the funnel are not going to do anything. Your content's not going to get any reach. Your setter's not going to have any opportunity to book any calls, or maybe you're still doing it if you haven't hired yet. And then if you have a closer, or you're still taking sales calls, then like you're not going to have enough calls to take. Then you're not going to make the money you want to make. You're not going to make the impact you want to make. And you're just going to see either very slow growth, or you're going to plateau and kind of stagnate at where you're at right now. And then maybe you got to wonder if you got to get a job or something like that, because it's just extremely unpredictable and inconsistent. So having a consistent, predictable acquisition system, which ads literally allow you to do that like overnight. It's crazy, but nonetheless, once you have that in place, you're gonna make so much money. And that's when you're gonna be able to actually hire people. And like, for example, like the first hire I made was an editor, right? I hired 2 editors. Actually, no, I hired a short form editor first, and then I hired an appointment setter, and then I hired a YouTube editor, right? So that's kind of what that looks like. Next up is gonna be like a coach or a client success manager, and then also a sales rep once I'm kind of doing, I don't know, around 7 figures. Right? But I'm really good at sales. I like to continue taking sales calls. And because I've delegated a lot of the other aspects of my business, I have the time to do that right now. And I'm really good at sales. I really like taking sales calls, and it adds a ton of immediate value to the business and makes it a lot of money. So therefore I should keep doing that. How I apply that principle to my own business, for example, but with the setter, for example, like I'm not great at appointment setting. I don't love it. I don't like to be on my phone or spend a lot of time in the DMs. It does add a lot of value to the business though, but I wasn't good at it. Don't really love it. So I found somebody who was, and who does love it, who can spend 8 to 10 hours a day in my DMs, booking calls, so that way I can just spend a bunch of money on ads, give them the opportunity. They book a few calls a day. I take a few calls a day, sign up a lot of clients, grow the business, and we're all happy, right? So that's it for this video. If you thought this was helpful, smash the like button, hit subscribe if you're not subbed already. Got plenty more bangers just like this on the way. And let me know in the comments what you thought. And if you're actually interested and serious about scaling your business predictably and consistently, check the main video on my YouTube channel. I break down literally the whole offer. I've said that before. Or just booking a call down below or DM me over on Instagram at Jeremy_Pogue. I'll see you guys in the next video.